just a little bit.
But I'm not.
Sure. Well, no, but if you actually look at, I mean, like, if you listen to the music that's being played, if you look at Macaulay Culkin's, like, how he's communicating his, like, feelings in it, he's not, like, sure, he's scared, but it's not like a horror movie sort of scared. I would say, like, you could like classify it more as like a drama. But I don't know.
Are horror movies suspenseful by definition? Because like Saw, I haven't seen, but that isn't really like a suspense horror, right? That's just like a horror.
I think that there's some suspense in there. And I don't know, is horror and terror like a type of suspense, like a specific subset of suspense?
I guess which way does it go? Where are the subsets?
Yeah,
What is that hierarchy?
is suspense a type of horror, or is horror a type of suspense?
Well, dramas can be suspense.
Yeah.
So would that put suspense above? You could have a suspense kids movie.
Well, also, like, I mean, you have like blue green, right? Like, blue's a color, green's a color. And there's a relationship between those two colors, but then you also have a color that is part blue and part green to like a different degree that we call like blue green, right? So suspense
Green
could
is
be
part blue. Blue is not
right.
part green.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. So, I mean, I think suspense and drama could be like
Although technically it could be the other way around because light
yeah.
over because green and blue, like in a monitor RGB, you get yellow by subtracting blue from green, and it's like a trick on the eyes.
Yeah, because what is it? Light works opposite to.
Well, it's like the whole cyan, magenta, like the color pigments form differently than an ink.
Yeah.
They overlap differently.
Yeah, which I think that's interesting in its own right. But I think you could have drama being adjacent to suspense, and I don't know, either drama being like suspense plus something else, or suspense being, or maybe you have like drama, suspense, and horror, and suspense is like a combination of horror and drama, so it's like a secondary sort of emotion. But then you could have like dramatic suspense, or you could have horror suspense. I'm not like saying that that is the case or anything, but just like hypothetically.
Is a rom-com a suspense movie?
I think that's just a trash movie. That's what that is.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like, it's positive
I
suspense,
love
isn't it?
rom-coms. Relax.
Oh, shut the hell up, Mike.
You never seen?
I bet Mike was watching Queer Eye before he got on here too.
What's that movie with Ben Stiller and
Something About Mary?
yeah, no, that's Something About Mary is fire. It's
That's
something
a rom-com.
about it's something about
Along
a
Came Polly.
Cherokee Polly. That's it. Along Came Polly. Fire movie. I got like 10 of them bitches I can hit you with that you like, and I know you like.
Oh, well, you struggled with one just now.
I remember the fucking name, bro.
He's got 10 in his pocket, but he can't remember the one.
Is that like the wallet's in the other pants?
It's in the pocket. It's just in the other pocket. Mike, you look drowsy. You just wake up from a nap, bro?
Nah, I'm just chilling, bro. I been on the move since Christmas Eve, so we all good though. I've been recording this too.
I know.
Welcome to the No Consensus Podcast, you Grinches, you Scrooges. They call me Mike Jack, MIC. Jack of all trades. Jacking myself off. Jack in a Box, all of them things. To my right today is my boy Wozzy, aka the Gallon Milk, aka Whole Fat, aka Whole Wheat, aka Pumpernickel, and then below him is my boy Jake, the Jack-o'-lantern, aka the Jake-o'-lantern, as I like to call it, aka Benjamin Button, aka for Dr. Frankenstein. And cheers, boys.
Oh. I wasn't ready for the cheers. There we go. Cheers.
I'm off the Moscato today. What you sipping on, Jake?
I'm two-fisting it here. I got the Maker's Mark.
Look at your hair right now. Looks like the guy that's been two-fisting it all day.
I got the Maker's Mark over here. And then I got the New Orthodox India Pale Ale Series Boss Tweed Double Pale Ale Guava, coming in at that 9.3% alcohol.
What?
That was a lot of words that like
so
kind of go together.
That was so. Bro,
so the hold on.
It's $18.99 for what? That's a 4-pack too, ain't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't $18.99.
Oh.
But what was it here?
I see it says $18.99.
It says that, but he didn't rung me up for $18.99.
It don't matter. Somebody out there paid $18.99 for that bitch.
So the brewery is New Orthodox, out of Williamston, Michigan, and then they have an IPA series, and they have their double India Pale Ale called the Boss Tweed, and this is the guava version of that. It's a 9.3% alcohol, and it is hazy. And I have recently come to learn that I don't know, a lot of beer aficionados had told me that I was being a hater for hating on IPAs. I still feel like that's not the wrong I don't think I was wrong.
I agree with you for the most part.
But they did say, like, well, you got to go ahead and find the one. Okay, well, that just seems like I need to get addicted to the point where I'm willing to look past it. But I will say that these hazy, how many of these have I fucking had? I will say that these hazy IPAs, juicy IPAs, whatever you want to call them, those are rather delicious. I do like those.
Yeah. So if you have to find the right one, doesn't that mean you don't like it as a category, but you happen to like one of them?
I mean, like, do you gotta find the right woman?
Crime shows, but if I like Criminal Minds because of character development, I still don't like criminals or like detective shows. I just like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People would say the same thing about coffee, though. You know, like, oh, well, you just gotta have enough coffee, and then you'll like it and stuff.
That is an acquired taste.
Well, maybe IPA is an acquired taste, but
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know, because I still am not a fan of plenty of IPAs.
It takes some people longer to acquire it than others.
Well, I mean, but these bad boys I really enjoy.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna have to get one of them $20 beers off you one of these days.
Is it less bitter than most? Is it less bitter than most IPAs, or more citrusy?
A lot more citrusy.
And how do you feel about the church selling beers?
Well, I mean, for one, this isn't the church, but the church has no problem with alcohol, man. It's these damn Protestant teetotalers who've totally misunderstood things.
You said,
okay,
what did you just call them?
Teetotalers.
Teetotalers?
Yeah, teetotalers, and they know who the fuck I'm talking about. Them and their damn temperance movements.
Oh man, Jake.
Here's the comical thing.
Some shit, bro. Go ahead.
Here's the comical thing about those guys. They try to.
Can you look up teetotalers while he's doing this?
Not toddlers.
I know what it was.
Yeah. what is it here? They'll go ahead and try to say, like, when they hand out when they have communion, they'll go ahead and hand out what, fucking graham
Grape juice,
crackers
yeah.
and grape juice, like some Welch's. Well, guess what? They try to say that in the Bible, whereas, because of course they're no tradition, scripture only, sola scriptura. Yet in the Bible, when it says wine, they're, oh, no. What Jesus actually meant, we translate that word as wine, but what he actually meant was grape juice. Grape juice ferments very quickly.
Right.
So quickly that it wasn't until we discovered the means of pasteurization, I believe, about 150 years ago, that you could actually make grape juice that you could actually sell. Like Welch's didn't have the ability to even be a company selling grape juice till about 100 years ago. So I really don't think that grape juice is what Jesus went ahead and turned that water into.
Yeah. I'm with you, Jake. I am with you.
Yeah, so the Orthodox Church, the Catholic Church, has never had an issue with alcohol in moderation and stuff.
Yeah,
and
because you can't take away pussy and alcohol, bro. Like, god damn, let a bro get some shit.
But like,
man, blow his fucking brains out.
And it's been a tradition of many monasteries to make mead, wine, and beer. So yeah, so I got no problem if the church wanted to go ahead and make it, but this isn't that, unfortunately. It'd be cool if it was.
I'm rolling. I'm just saying they jocked y'all name, so I'm surprised there's been no legal action.
Oh, don't worry
against these boys. Oh, don't worry.
I'll coming. Yeah. But talking about my hair, so I had my dad called me up yesterday, and he's like, "Hey Jake, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. You mind giving me a ride?" Yeah, sure, no problem, pops. And he ends up calling me back. He's like, "Yeah, can you be here at 7 a.m.?" Oh, like, what's your appointment, Dad? 8:30 in Ann Arbor, about 15 minutes away. Yeah, I'll be there at 7, Dad.
Sure, I can be there. Will I?
So, I mean, and then, so I get up this morning, and I'm like in the middle of my morning prayers, and he calls me at 6:50 to make sure that I was awake and everything. Like, I'm a grown-ass man, Pops. I said I'd be there. I'll fucking be there.
He probably just got a track record with your other brothers. Like,
let
me go ahead. I know Jake probably ain't like this, but I'm not about to leave it up to nobody else. Let me give him a good ring.
Well, and then he goes, I'm like, yeah, I'll be leaving in a few minutes here. And he's like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and step outside and wait outside for you. Like,
you can sit in the fucking house till I get there.
Like, I could go ahead and give you a call when I pull up, Pops. It's not that. Okay, wait outside. That's fine. Whatever.
Do what you want to do. It's cold as shit this morning. Wait outside, Dad.
So I go out to the car, and there's snow on the car, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not even gonna scrape it. I'm just gonna go ahead and look through the streaks of this ice, snow, sleet shit on the windshield, and hopefully, and I mean, I don't know, it's 7:00 in the morning. There shouldn't be no fucking kids out in the road for me to hit on their bicycle. So like, I should be all right. He's just around the corner. So I head on over there, and I get there, and he's not outside. I don't know if he was and he gave up on it because he doesn't have any faith in me, but he was inside. I saw his blinds move when I pulled up, and like he saw the lights hit his apartment. I saw the blinds move, and like he was out. So I don't know why he ever thought that he needed to go outside to fucking wait on my ass at 7:00 in the morning in the snow and ice and rain. But
he told you that to make you feel bad, to hurry your ass up. Like, I can't have Dad sitting on the porch dying,
bro. So then I get there, so then he comes on out, and he pulls the sleeve of his coat down past his hands, and he starts wiping my headlight, and he's like, "You got snow on this light." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got snow on all the fucking windows, Dad. I was in a rush to get over here." And then he starts wiping, like, using his coat sleeve to wipe the snow off of his window. I'm like, "Dad, no, I have a brush right here. Get your ass in the car. I was just hurrying up to get over here." So he finally got in, and I wiped the windows off. And then he complained about his jacket being wet. But we're on the way to the hospital, and I can't remember what the hell it was he said, but he said something, and I was like, "Yeah, I went ahead and ended up taking the day off." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I ended up taking just the whole day off work." Oh, because I asked him, I was like, "About how long is this usually?" He's like, "Oh, it's a few hours." I was like, "All right, yeah, cool." Like, I ended up taking the whole day off, so it's good. He's like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I took the day off." And he's like, "I thought you work at home." Yeah, I do, but that doesn't mean I can just for like 5 hours in the middle of the day, Dad.
That boy, that's the type of work at home employee you don't want on your payroll.
Oh yeah.
Pops think work at home, me, you just at home.
Yeah, you do something every once in a while. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and you're replying.
Pops, you thought I could just dip out for 5-6 hours out the day? That's hilarious.
Yeah, so like I had like 13 hours of sick time still to use up this year, and it doesn't roll over. They won't pay it out or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, it worked out for me. Yeah, so I was like, it ain't no problem. I was looking for a reason to get off.
Our sick time don't roll.
But yeah, when we were at the hospital, and he's over an hour early for his appointment. But see, here's the thing. He was also, his primary told him like had scheduled him to get like a flu and or shingle shot today and stuff. So he was able to get that done beforehand, before his procedure and stuff like that, instead of doing it after. But I ended up catching my reflection in a window, and my hair is all wild and shit. I was like, "Pops, we've been walking around the hospital for like an hour, and I've been looking like this, and you didn't say anything?" He's like, "I don't know. I thought it's just how you were these days."
I feel him though. When we get about 50, 60, who knows how kids' motherfucking hair gonna be? I can't tell you to change your shit. That might be the new style. Because if I tell you what's wrong with your shit, you're gonna be like, "You so old, Dad." Kids don't wear hair on their head no more. All the hair, so the hair on your ears now. Get in the future.
Man, kids going ahead and shaving their heads, but like hairy ass dick. Like the balls are shaved, but the shaft itself is furry. It's like a millipede with like them hairs all on her.
Oh goddamn, bro, chill. Oh, that's funny as hell. How's y'all Christmas?
It was a Christmas at my family, so yelling and people getting angry for no reason.
Other than that, they be yelling at your crib, Wozzy? I just feel like
no, I go over to my parents because my brother's over
at your parents' house. For some reason, I just imagine your house being like absolute quiet all day until y'all all say, "All right, bye," and then go home. I don't know why. I just feel like all your people got your demeanor, and y'all just kind of is a chill ass household. Who the fuck is yelling in your crib?
Chill is not what my family does. Like my chill demeanor is probably part of my reason for therapy.
Yeah, you just
I don't want to be the opposite.
Yeah, those synapses got blown out.
What was that, Jake?
I was like, your synapses got blown out from all the yelling that you've experienced.
In a weird way, probably just because I got sick of being angry at everybody. So you guys be angry, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna do my thing. We had a steak au poivre, which was good. Made a ribeye. My parents and brother had a filet mignon. Good steak, pepper crust. Had some Scotch eggs. All of the food stuff was pretty good, but it's
That
my
brings it all
favorite
together. Yeah, that's hilarious. Are you
What about
cooking all
you?
the steaks over there?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. You don't. Is it because
Yeah.
you don't trust them to cook the steaks, or you just like it and you better at it?
I like it. And I also use the meter thermometers, so it goes to your cell phone when it's all done. So cooking steaks is nothing. You do them on the like a grill pan or in like a cast iron griddle of some sort. Sear both sides like 5 minutes each side. Throw it in the oven at 350, and your thermometer will tell you when it's done.
Yep, that's exactly what
Super
I
easy.
just did.
What sort of oil do you use to season your cast iron?
Just normal regular oil. I always
Like
forget
olive oil?
Mhm. Or vegetable oil.
Oh, okay.
The reasoning for seasoning on most cast iron pans is to keep them nonstick. So just any sort of oil creates that layer.
Big
Just don't
facts.
use like a extra virgin olive oil because it'll burn and you'll taste that burned forever.
Big facts. Yeah, it was this Christmas banged. We had Shonda's cousin stayed with us over the holiday. Woke up, played some of that NutCracker, had it banging through the house on Christmas Day. While we put together like all the gifts and open up gifts. You know, I got Jack, so the amount of fucking gifts he got is outrageous. All big shit that I have nowhere to put. My dad got him a train set. He's called me every day now since Christmas. You put that train set together yet? No, Dad, I didn't put that bitch together, bro. It's 5 feet. Like, I don't got nowhere to put this shit. And the box says for 3-year-olds. So he just gonna Godzilla that bitch every time I put it together, dog. He not gonna respect this tray set. Yeah, you ain't put it together yet? Come on, Mike, put it together. So I'm like, all right, Pops, I'll put it together this weekend. God damn,
Tell
get
him
off
to
my
come over
dick.
and put it together.
You said what?
Make him come over and put it together if he wants it together.
That's a good ass idea, Wozzy. Come on, Grandpa, get your ass on over here and put some shit together.
Hey, you know I can't get down on the ground. My knees.
My dad would never ever say no shit like that. He had died before he said he can't do something. No, Pop, you can't go to hell. Watch me.
But you can't jump this BMX bike from this building to that building.
So yeah, we went to. My mom got back on Christmas Day from her nursing shit. She was out in New Mexico on some COVID nursing shit. So we went out to see her just because she took a test and was negative. So we was like, all right, we good. And then we all showed out. Everybody gave some good ass gifts, so I was happy as hell. Walked out of there carrying a lot of good shit. Good to see my brother, sisters. So it was a good time. Jake, did that dildo come in?
Oh, don't worry about that. No. But you guys keep talking about Christmas in the past tense, man. It's only the 6th day of Christmas.
Oh yeah, you're right, bro.
Christmas is still going on, bro.
I feel like it's still going on too. I still got the Christmas spirit. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, it's only day 6, man. You gotta keep that energy up, bro. We're not planning on taking down Christmas stuff till February.
Oh yeah, for sure. My shit might stay up till after that. I had to think about when I'm gonna take my shit down though.
But no, I mean, let's see here.
On the 6th day of Christmas,
all of Julia's stuff had come in, so that was good.
Oh yeah, clutch.
But
that's all that matters.
But it was the Secret Santa. But I mean, whatever. Fuck them. What was it here though? You would be happy to know that I got Julia another really sexist gift. I got her a food processor.
I better process that food after you open it up with that can opener, girl. Oh my goodness! Send her your camera a little. Oh no, you good? It's just how I got this set up. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she was over the moon for it, and it was hilarious because I was like, yeah, Mike's gonna roast me for being sexist and stuff, and she's like, Jake, feel free to continue being as sexist as you can be, because the sexist gifts are the best gifts.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Y'all this feminist movement gonna ruin it for y'all girls. These girls, y'all be mad as hell. Some girls want men's in their life. I'm sorry to tell you this, but dudes that's gonna take control, and some girls like doing stuff that is considered quote unquote girly stuff. I'm sorry. So yeah, I ain't mad at the food processor though, because it's some shit that she gonna use and enjoy. It is just funny that all your gifts just seem to have that theme. Like, look, babe, I got you a car washing kit. So make sure you get outside and put a wax on my motherfucking car too. That's crazy.
What was that, Wozzy?
Oh, I was just thinking about how many cooking shit type stuff I have gotten. So does that make me a woman?
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Estrogen flowing, bro.
Who the hell do you think Gordon Ramsay is? Does he even seem feminine at all?
That's a man's man.
Well, and that was a funny thing that I was when I was at the hospital with my pops. The TV had some kids baking challenge on, and for one, it was just really weird. It was surreal because it was the current season, so it's being shot during COVID times, and it's a competition. So like they're all social distancing in this kitchen, like near each other, and it just seemed like, I don't know, why don't you maybe promote another show this year? Give this one a rest a little bit. But like all of the boys, like all of the girls were completely normal. Like they weren't girly girl, they weren't tomboyish. It was like the whole spectrum
people,
of right. But all of the boys were extremely feminine, and like none of them had their fathers there. It was just their mothers and stuff. And like I don't see, and like that's one of the things that frustrates me with some of the language about a lot of the gender studies stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with men who are men, who like cooking, who like baking, who like writing beautiful, like sappy poetry and shit like that. Like there's nothing like you could be I mean, look at right, but I mean, like you could look at I think two great examples I always bring up are like David Bowie and Prince. Like they were slaying it, but can you get more feminine men? Like
man,
just because you like
10 years of metrosexual being like a big thing.
I remember that.
That was funny.
The whole guys don't get pedicures and manicures shit. But you right though. Like, come on, bro. What makes you a man? Are we talking about girls? Who got more than Prince? Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Plus, he could hoop. Plus, he was a dog ass musician. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. These terms are, ridiculous. But
and you put that man in front of a griddle, and he's serving up pancakes.
Yeah, but it goes deeper than man and woman shit too. Like, we can even look at cool. I remember in high school, that's all motherfuckers wanted to be, was the cool kid. And in order to be cool, you had to do the cool things. What sport did you play? What girl was you dating? What skill did you have? It wasn't cool for me to watch anime and play video games back in high school. That was still like the nerd thing, the geek shit. But guess what? I did everything else that everybody else thought was cool, but I also played games like a motherfucker. I also, watched anime. So eventually people started doing the shit and was like, all right, that's cool. Now you go online and everybody talking about, how important Dragon Ball Z was when they was a kid. And I'm sitting back like, I wasn't talking to none of you motherfuckers about it. None of y'all talked about Dragon Ball Z with me. I was watching that shit every day, daily, and it was only me and 2 other kids. And I knew you back then, motherfucker. So stop lying. You was the same one making fun of. Oh, you doing that Goku? Who was that? That's Goku. Calling every character in Dragon Ball Z Goku. Like, no, that's not Goku, bitch.
Is that the bald Goku? No, that's Nappa, ho.
like, so it's funny how these terms and how people just try to put certain shit in a box. All of this shit is cool. You can be cool. You can be a man. You can be a woman. Like, it's not, that shit is not dictated by the shit that you like, bro. I promise you, it's not.
Yeah, well, and the funny thing is, like, I think the reality of the matter is that's much more important how genuine and authentic it is, like the expression of it is. But also, like, you know, you bringing up sports. Some sports are just, like, depending on the culture, easier to approach. Like, it's much easier for us to approach something like football and have an appreciation for the skill in that than, say, figure skating.
True that.
So we have to sit down and actually watch figure skating more in order to develop that relationship and that appreciation of it. But it really doesn't matter what is thought of as cool. Like, if you commit yourself to it and, like, you're really about it, you can make the uncool cool.
Exactly.
Because what we're seeing is you know, like, there's a reason why you've been out on the ice fucking hours after hours after hours. Well, you got countless bruises and shit like that, twisted ass ankles and broken knees. Like,
that's true. Because even think about soccer, how much we make fun of soccer, and especially when I was in school and when y'all was in school, like, it was like, you play soccer, like, you gotta be soft for playing soccer. Even as much shit as we got about for playing. Years. You said what, Wozzy?
I played for 6 years, so thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
I played years too.
I'm just gonna go. I mean,
I'm just, but they would talk so much shit about soccer, but soon as, like, it also depends on how good you are at your shit too. Because we had 2 dudes at our school that was actually ranked top 1 and 2 in the nation at our school. So yeah, soccer is trash, but y'all motherfuckers is cold. They got respect off of that. You going to Duke for college to play soccer? Like, even though we don't like soccer, we respect the fact that you is, like, super good at it. You know what I'm saying? And super good just sounds such a basic ass term, but
you're really good, pal.
Like, that shit got around, so it's, I don't know. We just so fucking fake that it hurts my stomach sometimes. Like, okay, you hate soccer, but since he's going to Duke and you think he might be successful, you want to be on his dick. And you know, be his friend now. Like, that shit weak as hell. Like, do you like it or is it not? Is it for men or is it for not, dog? Stop being so fucking wishy-washy and just you know, it's always been trash.
Well, not to mention, especially, like, you could go ahead and say that it's a super weak sport and everything, but all right, go ahead and lace up those cleats.
Right, boy.
Let's actually play a full game. Yeah, no, there's no break.
Go ahead, run around for 90 minutes, bitch, and tell me how you feel.
Right, let's see if you can even do the full game. Legs feel like jello.
Big jello, boy.
You know, go ahead and throw on a couple of blades and let's get out on the ice and see what you could do, you know? Like,
it's a wrap. I just went skating.
I'm liable to go ahead and snap an ankle, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm all right, bro. I need another couple months to get my shit together.
And, you know, that's kind of like my thing with, like, football and all that jazz. Like, am I a big fan of it? No. Do I watch it? No. But I mean, I honestly, if like I can sit there and really appreciate the skill. Like, there's an uncanny sort of talent that's required for any of these sports. Do we overvalue them? I think that's, you know, something that we could debate and all that jazz. And that's where most of my frustration comes from, is like the overemphasis I feel on these things. But I can't go ahead and deny the fact that they are doing a very difficult job, and it has a high risk too.
Yeah. Yep. That is a good debate. Is it overvalued? Because it's not like it didn't start off where players was getting, you know, $100 million for 5 years to play basketball. You know, when these sports start off, these guys still need second and third jobs while they was playing these sports. You know what I'm saying? They was barely getting minimum wage to go around state to state to play these sports. So what about it did make it get from, making $10,000 a year to making $30 million a year,
Ooh, that's interesting.
Because on one hand, I agree with you. Like, y'all making too much money to dribble a ball or to catch a ball, but on the second hand, y'all didn't just get there. People obviously love this shit. Somebody, people was obviously throwing no money at it. So is this are we undervaluing the amount of entertainment that it is bringing people on a daily basis? I don't know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go, Woz.
I was going to say my guess is that you have people like Fedorov, and everybody wants to be get paid a little bit more than the previous best guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been going on for 50 years. And if it's $500,000 higher every single year, or even 100,000 higher every single year, it's going to add up.
Mm-hmm. But where do you get this money to even pay these guys that much money or justify paying them? I know where you get it from. I'm just saying.
And advertising is the reason that I never got into football when I was young. If there wasn't a 3-minute advertising break every time the ball stopped, I could probably watch it. Like college ball, I can watch it. I'm not a fan of it, but I have no problem watching college ball. It's one of those things where like 3 different systems all working separately created the effect, and you'd have to fix all 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's really like the nature of pretty much most things, right? It's a lot more complicated. There's not just one single silver bullet.
Right. So do y'all think that if we started nationally televising surgeries and classrooms, like teaching, and doctors would start getting paid way more money because I don't know, because it's like you said, it's a combination of fans, advertisements, all that shit goes into how much money you getting paid. So now we take these things to another level.
Well, doctors get paid well, right? So, but the teacher thing, that would be hilarious. Like, Miss Walsh, she's gonna go ahead and correct this.
Like, she teacher of the year for sure, bro. MVP, man. Like, I can't tell you what she doing. top social studies in the West. What you want to say, was?
Even thinking about if doctors get paid too much, because they get paid a lot because medical licenses and degrees and all that costs a lot. But why does that cost so much? Public university level should be. Sorry?
I was just saying, what is so expensive about sharing that knowledge?
So, again, that one is another trickle down.
Yeah.
Insurance falls into that too. Why is a medicine that costs $20 to make $300 to $400?
Mm-hmm. What's my man's name with the face? That bought the Wu-Tang album that got arrested. What's that boy's name? It had the insulin. Yeah, he fucked up insulin.
Douchebag McDouchebag.
Yeah, hold on.
I can't remember his name.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. I want to say it's like Shock or Shrock, something like that. Jock bitch.
That bought Wu-Tang album. That shit. This dude's face. Martin Skreli. Ugh, that's a terrible name. My boy, look at Martin Skreli's face.
He looks like someone who would be named Martin Skreli,
The price of AIDS fighting pill from $13.50 to $7.50. God damn.
You Skreli ass looking motherfucker.
Bro, yes. But look at that second picture at the top. From the top left, the second picture.
Oh. If that's not a face you want to punch, I don't know what
I don't know, bro. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So man, that's good stuff.
We definitely pay doctors a lot because to like essentially reimburse them for all of the debt that they have because of med school and licensing and all that jazz. But I assume that another. Yeah, like I also assume, and it's just an assumption, that it's also part of the prestige of the job that, you know, we value what you're doing as a community service so highly, as being a factor in that. But when I don't know, when I think of like some of like the church saints that were healers and stuff like that, that like ran hospitals and stuff, they definitely weren't getting paid and all that jazz. So similar to sports, like with how they weren't getting paid and had to work and fight to get paid what they're getting paid now. I wonder what like the sort of the history of the doctor salary is like, and if we see a similar sort of spike and increase in it or not.
That's a good ass question, Jake. I would love to see that as well. Because they get paid a lot, but even then, is it enough for saving people's lives? You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker just came in and would have died if you didn't get that bullet out of his chest the right way that you did and do all the stuff that you did. So how much is that worth, saving another human being's life? I don't know.
Right. And I mean, and it's never just saving one person's life, right? Because like you save that one person's life, and what else do they do in the world that could go ahead and save someone else's life, you know?
Yeah, fire.
You know, so like
And
that ripple.
Yeah, I thought you was going down the path of you save his life, and then now you're also saving his family from a grief that they would have had, debt that they not debt, but you know, costs of the shit that they would have had to pay for you know, death. And you save you are, and I didn't even think about, hey, that motherfucker get to live, he get to do something, you know, better with his life later on. You never know what that'll mean. So yeah, even then, I would love to relook at how much. I don't even know how much these guys makes, because there's doctors, there's surgeons. It's all different type of doctors that look at different type of shit. So I don't know what the average salary for dudes with doctor in front of their name, because there's also Dr. Ken Jongs, who's just actors. So
Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil.
Jesus Christ, Dr. Oz, boy. Woo! That's a motherfucker. Dr. Phil's a good example, though. You take therapy, you put it on national TV, how much y'all motherfuckers trying to make, bro? Because he out here therapizing.
Yeah, therapizing.
Without a license, but you know.
It doesn't matter, Wozzy. It's Hollywood. Nothing's real.
Nothing's real, bro. As long as you got the right voice and the perfect amount of I don't give a fuck mixed in with I want to help you, and I might know what I'm talking about. Like, you say anything convincingly enough, motherfuckers will believe it.
Remember the old shows where you had like the ghost medium, where like people were doing those
John
readings?
Edwards and shit. Fucking piece of shit.
God, that's a piece of shit right there.
You want to talk about a turd? Oh, good lord.
Oh, damn, that was bad. Those
I
times
do wonder,
was bad. It felt like scamming was at an all-time high. Miss Cleo's of the world. And,
Cleo.
Like, people calling for psychics.
Call me now.
Oh my god.
For real though, I'd love to go to Jamaica someday.
Man, we going to Jamaica in March if if COVID calmed down. We paid for this trip a long time ago, so I don't know what it's gonna be like, y'all. But
what area? Do you know?
I don't know. It's we being bougie on this trip. So we 5-star resort, all expenses. So we're barely gonna be in Jamaica, yeah.
When I went 20 years ago, I think they had there was a bar where if you wore a bathing suit, it was free entry.
Oh damn, fire!
I think it was Jimmy Buffett's. I want to say it was a musician's bar down there.
Nice.
I don't know how I feel about Jimmy Buffett still, but
I'm thinking Warren Buffett. I'm like, what music that motherfucker made?
I can't remember who it was. It was one of the people who make music.
Yeah, that's funny. Wazzy, you had anything on your docket, baby?
I had gotten an early Christmas gift for myself. I ordered a VR headset and it came in a month earlier than normal.
Ooh. Which one you
So
grab, bro? I know you did some extensive research on it.
the HP G2. It's pretty good so far. I still need a new video card. But I realized how out of shape I am by playing Beat Saber. I get tired after playing a half hour of Beat Saber.
Dude, that's
a
wild,
lot longer
bro.
than I thought you was gonna say. I thought you was gonna say 5 minutes, half hour. That's a good amount of time, bro. That's a good
You
workout.
okay? I mean,
You
work
okay.
on it, but you okay?
Yeah, you okay, bro. You
I mean, like I'm sweating after a half hour.
Good.
I mean,
you need it, buddy. Not you need it, but we all need a good sweat a half hour a
I
day.
would be at that point 5 minutes in, so you good, Wozzy.
So
Keep
that
it up,
thing,
but
you
you're
got
good.
both of these things in your hand, and you gotta go whoop, 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 whoop.
It's a lot more than
Yeah.
that, Mike. Don't. Have you played it, Mike?
Oh no, I ain't played it. I seen the
Yeah, there's a lot
insane
more
videos
than that,
though.
but yeah.
I mean, I don't know how is it even possible for some of these guys to do that shit is crazy.
Autism, bro. It's like a superpower out here.
Every time I'm bitching somebody being good at something, Jake just says autism, bro.
I'm trying to change the narrative, man. Everyone wants to talk about it like a negative. No, if you have autism, you're like a fucking superhero, bro.
Big facts, bro.
But no, Wozzy, I can't remember the name of it, but there's some boxing game, and I know like you're not.
Joe Rogan liked, right?
I have no idea. I haven't heard it from him, but and I know you're not into boxing and stuff, but if you want to talk about like a really good workout, just do one match of like 3 rounds, 2 minutes each, and oh my goodness, that cardio, bro.
That's funny as hell. Because you was playing it over your boy crib when you would watch his crib.
Yeah.
Is it this guy? Thrill of the fight?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit! Oh, that shit fire!
It's only $8.
And the physics are really nice. Like the double end bag, the speed bag.
Yeah.
It really like if you're just off a little bit with the speed bag, the angle changes depending on how hard you hit it. Like it really reads all that shit well, and the physics are really nice. So I was really impressed with that bad boy.
That looks sweet.
I own it now.
So I don't know how. I always ask this because I keep forgetting. Does like the Oculus Rift and the HP, do they have their own stores for games that only work on their gear, or is it all just
So Vive has their own store and Oculus has their own store, and the Oculus store is the Facebook store because reasons. Some can work with Steam VR. This one is technically a Windows mixed reality headset, so it's on. It's a really bad ecosystem right now, but it's slowly getting better. So there's a Windows store that has the Windows VR stuff. Oculus has their own stuff. Vive has their own stuff. Most things can run on Steam, but I think I have to
download it off Steam. You'll be able to play it on that.
I'm not. I can't download something from the Oculus store and play it on mine.
For sure. So you only played that one game then, the Beat Saber?
I played that. I played a roguelike that's like Zelda, where you're like swinging a sword and stuff.
Nice.
I'm pretty bad at it, but it could be fun. And then I bought Payday 2 for $1 yesterday. And
hilarious. I just played Payday 2 because it was free on Game Pass, and I did like it was like a long ass tutorial you had to do, so I was doing that. Well, seems like it might be a fun game. I didn't know that they had that shit on VR. That's hilarious.
Now, Wozzy, this isn't like your first little dip of the toe into VR, is it?
No, I had bought the Razer HDK 2, but it didn't have any controllers. It was just the goggles.
Oh, okay.
So it was more of a, what's the opposite of interactive? It was
not interactive.
Outeractive.
I mean, like it was, controls were only mouse and keyboard or just looking around. So like a game like Monstrum, which is VR, and it has like one of 3 aliens chasing you. I haven't played that one yet on the new one, but a mouse and keyboard is just fine because all I have to do is like look around, and I can control on a mouse and keyboard. With these, I'm up in my chair or I'm back there and moving around, so it's a much different experience.
I would go ahead and also suggest looking into I think it's called Robo Recall. That game was a blast.
Robo Recall.
Yeah, it's essentially like in the future there's all these help like kind of like Bionic Man type deal, helper robots and stuff, and there's some virus that spreads that turns them all like pretty much evil. So now you have to recall them by blowing them all up and stuff. And
you gotta recall them by blowing them up.
Yeah. You're just because like they're killing people and stuff like that. So you're going ahead and like so you reach down by your hip to like pull out new pistols. Once you unlock the shotgun, you gotta like pull behind your back to get it and stuff. They're all around you. You gotta like you got bullets flying at you and like the funny thing is like you could go ahead and catch bullets and throw them back at them.
Damn.
Yeah, so I mean it's not just like you're looking around and immersed in an environment with enemies at all angles, but you also have to you do have to duck and sidestep and all that jazz. So you are using your whole body, and oh man, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna look that up afterwards. Like I want to play Alex, but I definitely want the new hardware before I play like a AAA title.
What's
like
Alex?
Beat Saber?
I
don't care how it looks as long as I can get everything in fine. But like Alex, I want to look at everything and
What's Alex?
admire it. Half-Life Alex was in the Index launch game. It's in the Half-Life world, so it's kind of like a mixture of Portal and Half-Life. And I have no idea what the story is. Again, it's one of those things where I watched a couple minutes of gameplay, but I know nothing else about it. So
is it new?
It's like a year old.
Okay, yeah. So why'd you buy that one if you didn't think it could play Alex, then, bruh?
Well, because I've been trying to get that video card anyways. I pre-ordered this. I pre-ordered the headset in October.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that video card that's holding you back, right?
For sure.
Was it in our chat that somebody posted that?
Yeah.
Portal Christmas tree.
Oh, no.
You said posted what?
About a video card.
Somebody had posted a meme about I'd seen a meme somewhere about a Portal Christmas tree where like someone had like a blue circle on their floor and like an orange circle on like their ceiling, and the bottom of the tree was going through the ceiling and the top of the tree was coming through the floor.
That's fire.
That's awesome.
I want that to you.
Okay, maybe it was one of my brothers showed it to me, but they showed it to me because they had never played Portal, but they were familiar with Portal through me. And they're like, look at what this motherfucker said. And somebody had posted it. It was like, look at this Rick and Morty tree and how cool it is.
I hope they tore his ass up in the comments.
I'll have to try and find it, but
look at this Rick and Morty tree. You piece of shit. You know the Rick
so
Portal
triggered
when you see it. That's funny. That's dope though, Wozzy. I can't wait. And yeah, hopefully you get that damn that card soon. Jesus Christ.
I have 2 pre-ordered from 2 different sites. Okay. So hopefully by the end of next month, but we'll see because it's a very specific card I want.
Okay.
End of next month. Ooh-wee.
That patience, dog.
Hopefully by the end of next month.
I mean, I really wanted it for Cyberpunk, and since I've heard that it's a good game, but it's not worth like going crazy over. I'm fine waiting until a couple patches for that hit, anyways.
Yeah, you can wait a little bit. I got 70 hours in on this shit now. I can't tell you I ain't playing the shit out this motherfucker. I was playing it before this podcast. I'm gonna be playing it after this motherfucker. So
Ryan's like 100 hours in.
Oh yeah, he getting it in. Once you start playing, I do want to talk
Ryan,
about.
I don't think I've ever said his name, Ryan.
Yeah, you ain't never ever said his name out loud.
I've had to have said it once or twice.
Nah, I know your brother's name just off the fact that we was trying to see if he went
If
to
you knew
school at the
him.
same time. Yeah, but
And I still think you did, but you were in different crowds.
I didn't go to Andover. So first of all,
no, you were at Lasser.
Yeah, he went to Lasser.
No, he went to Andover, but there's a lot.
I didn't know. I don't know no Andover people, bro. Unless
I knew
they
a bunch
play
of
basketball.
I knew a bunch of people from Lasser, but I also went to Model.
Yeah,
so
that helped. I wish I went to Model or C Tech. What's that shit called? V Tech. What that shit was called?
It was something tech because it was for the engineering stuff.
Yeah. All right, well, Jake, break down why you was busting our balls this week with the NutCracker.
Yeah, I mean, just considering Christmas and all that jazz, and the strong relationship culturally and within the ballet suite itself of the presence of Christmas there. I thought it would be interesting, and not to mention, I'm always all over the board. I really do enjoy a lot of classic. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a poser by saying that I enjoy a lot of classical music, because it's not like I'm super familiar with. I couldn't go ahead and just be like, oh yeah, this is Vivaldi here or something like that. But
fire picks only.
But I do really enjoy it, and I was contemplating it for you guys, and I gave it a So I gave it a listen. Yeah, just put it on mute and play.
Yeah, just play this shit. This is the new thing. We gotta put a video on and just play it on mute while the person talks about the shit. Thank you.
But
he know he killing that shit.
We've been talking a bit lately. Yeah, so I listened to it and beforehand, and it was interesting listening to it because I'd never listened to the full entire suite before. And I'm sitting here like, wait, that's where that's from? That's where that's from? And I was going back to like Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies and shit like that, and just how much of like the Russian dance and the Sugar Plum Fairy dance and all that jazz that they would go ahead and use in those. And you hear all these bits and pieces all over society. And so I was like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and listen to it. Mike, I know you had been rewatching some old Looney Tunes and stuff. So I thought it
was the one dude I loved watching through the entire thing.
Oh yes, that guy. He was the best. But so Mike, I know you had been listening or watching a lot of like Looney Tunes, if I remember correctly, recently and stuff. So I thought it would be interesting for you to go ahead and put it in the context of where it came from and all that jazz. And Mike, I can't remember if you, but I know Wozzy, you were in choir and stuff. So I know like this music is familiar to you guys. And lately we've been talking a bit about some of the philosophy of music. And like the record industry and a lot of that jazz. So I thought that this would be an interesting thing to look at through that lens. When Julia and I were listening and watching, for one, obviously the composers are always wild. Like he's wild and funny in this way, but like I can't remember. I think some Mozart had come on.
Yeah. The dude in the middle here gets into it a lot too.
Some Mozart had popped on after this, and for me when we were watching it, and that composer was very different from this guy, but just as wild. And it's hilarious to me, and not to mention just watching. Harry Potter is such a big part of our sort of like societal makeup at this point and all that jazz. And you're watching this man with a wand and how he's controlling these people, kind of. It's that he's indicating to them, things to do and all that jazz. But and then not to mention, you have how many people are there? I don't even know how many people.
In the crowd or in the orchestra?
No, in the orchestra.
Yeah.
Probably 50 to 60.
Yeah, so you have like 50
people.
Like, it's one thing for a band of like 4 guys, 5 guys to perform music in time with one another. But you got like 50, 60 people, and they're all committed. Like, this takes a lot of dedication. These people are incredibly dedicated to this. This is a major part of their lives, and they've all chosen that for one, and then to go ahead and perform it in such sort of unison, like it's really, I don't know, it's awe-inspiring to me to see that many people unite in sort of like a single effort, right, to make this beautiful music and make it come alive. But one of the things I was thinking from like the sort of record label perspective is that we talk so much about like ghostwriters and all that jazz and like criticizing people for not writing their own music but simply performing it and that sort of thing. But here you have like a tradition of a composer writing some music for other people to perform, and then not composers, but what's homeboy, the maestro there? What do you call that? Conductor.
Conductor.
But the conductor himself, it's not like he is rewriting it or anything like that. I'm sure that there's some minor edits that may happen and that sort of thing. We're going to go ahead and cut this little bit out or what have you, I assume. But still, he's simply conducting what someone else has written to be performed by these other people. And not to mention, the NutCracker suite itself is a thing that existed before Tchaikovsky. And he was, somebody told him to go ahead and, hey, I want you
right here, boy. Crazy.
As somebody had asked him to do his own take on the NutCracker suite, and this is what he produced. So I think that's all interesting. So many of these things are like these large cultural stories that you haven't written, but you've inherited. It's part of your cultural tradition, and then this is your sort of perspective on it. We hate on movies being a knockoff of X, Y, and Z, of just another reboot and that sort of thing. But this is kind of just another reboot of the NutCracker, right? But it hits really good, if you ask me.
It's hard.
Yeah, and there was one other point that I thought I had to make. Oh, and then not to mention, one of the things that's also impressive to me is just the fact, like, how long, like, this was written, if I remember correctly, like 1892 or something like that by Tchaikovsky. I think he composed it. And the fact that it's still being, his composition of it is still being performed. And that it's a big thing every year. I think I had read like something like ballet, like 60% of the income that the average ballet troupe in America makes is off of performing, like the ballet choreographed dance part of the NutCracker.
Right? Are we gonna be hearing "Hot in Here" in 3020? I don't know.
Right, and that sort of ability to last, I think in itself is really impressive. So I don't know, I guess that's my little piece.
That's this. Damn, Jake, you fucked me up. because I just thought this was some surface level Merry Christmas. Let's listen to some NutCracker this week, and then you come out here with a dog ass in-depth analysis of all type of shit that I wasn't even thinking about while I was listening to this, bro. So first of all, I'm glad you brought up the Looney Tunes shit, because I definitely been watching Looney Tunes and Animaniacs, and I just be in awe sometimes at the sound in both of those shows. Animaniacs, especially this new season, I don't know how they keep coming up with songs like this. Like, whoever's writing these songs is just so fire, bro. Like, and especially like the first episode of the first season, they had one song about like basically like capitalism and how everybody be selling out. That just banged so hard. I rewound it like 4 times. Like, oh my god, y'all going crazy on this bitch. And so when I turned this on, like I said, I turned this on Christmas morning. First, we played the regular, All I Want for Christmas Is You, some Michael Bublé, you know what I'm saying? We played the classics, Jingle Bell Rocks, and then I threw this on afterwards. And the whole time it's playing, I'm like, damn, I heard this before. 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 Like, we got through the whole thing, and I basically knew all the songs because I heard them somewhere, like you said, bro. And I'm like, damn, whoever made this album made a banger, bro. Classic, top to bottom, 5 fucking mics in the source, bro. Like, this shit go crazy. And I'm like, it was just a good vibe with the family in the house. We unwrapping gifts and shit, eating. We cooked breakfast and ate it. The whole time this shit was just playing. I'm like, that's fine. This is a great pick. And I didn't even think about the shit you was talking about. I just enjoyed listening to this, and it's gonna be on my rotation for Christmas probably for the rest of my life. So I'm gonna just put that out there. Appreciate it, Jake. Look at my fancy. So this video is fucking amazing. So now let's take a little deeper dive into what you said about it. Damn, you are 100% right. We talk so much shit about people not playing shit, and then look at this here, classical music. And I don't know, so let me give y'all a background. When you're trying to become an artist, the best for you to make your music, you have to set up what is called a BMI or ASCAP. Both of these are companies that basically track your sales, and they track your plays. So whenever you get a sale, you get a play, ASCAP tracks it, it brings it back to your artist. It's basically kind of having an LLC for your artist name, right? So when you sign up for ASCAP or BMI, it asks you, are you a producer? Are you an artist? Or are you a writer / composer? And then, so those are 3 different things, right? Producer, artist, composer / writer. And then it asks you, if you say you're an artist or a writer, what type of music are you writing? And classical music has its own separate category apart from like regular music. So and because they just do it differently, like y'all can see now, you can write classical music and then other people just play your shit if it bangs. And I just love using the term bang for classical music, because like it ain't no hard shit, but it bang, bro. Because I'm the same as you, Jake. When I used to be coming home from work, I would turn on the classical station, bro. It just helped me calm my mind. And I'm the same as you. I'll never know who wrote what and who did what, but I just like listening to it because it really does help me calm my mind, focus, and get my mind right for when I'm coming home or for when I'm going into work. Whatever I need to do to help out. So it's a whole different genre of how you can even make music off of classical music. So the first part, when you brought it up, and the first thing I was going to say is I don't mind musicians out here playing other people's music, because your talent is not creation of music. Your talent is playing the instrument that you're playing, especially on this level. These people on this stage here are probably the best people at each of these instruments in the world. If not the best, they top 5, top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just put together this band out of nowhere. They had to earn their stripes. They had to prove that they was, first chairs. Y'all seen them movies where they fighting for first chair and shit in college. Like, these ain't no scrubs. I also don't like most of these people. I don't know them, but usually I grew, like you said, I was in choir, bro. These people be real bougie, real uppity, and like had this weird ass like nose
Like, dude,
stuck
right
up,
here.
yeah, like that bourgeois type attitude that I don't like. There are some cool people who do shit like this, but for the majority, a lot of these guys are probably assholes, rich assholes. So, but your talent cannot be denied. You worked hard as fuck at this thing. You got to where you are. You deserve to get paid. But what you brought up was the maestro. Then I'm like, that's a good point. What the fuck are you doing? But as I'm sitting here thinking, I know that the maestro's job and the conductor's job is not easy, because what they have to know what each person and each part of the band is supposed to be doing at what time, and they also have to have an ear to be able to figure out which part isn't sounding good, which part is sounding good, and even better ear than that, they are usually able to point out exactly who's fucking up in the string section. They'll be like, all right, the strings is off. Everybody stop. Y'all play. No, Jake, you just play. Play it right now. You're down an octave. I need you to bring it up 3 notes. You got to have a better ear for that. Like, they can hear that type of shit while 50 motherfuckers is playing all at the same time. They be able to hear who's off and who's not. So there's some type of talent in there. Not some type. There's a lot of talent in that. I don't know exactly what you would call it. A good ear, ability to lead, something like that. I don't know. But you right though, Jake. How do I pay? How do you get paid? How do any of y'all get paid? I don't know how the splits work in this type of situation. I don't know what's going on. And look at that. And do you get paid for this charisma up here? Like, he's probably a cool ass guy outside of this. Who's like, this swagger.
I would love to have a beer with him.
I would too, bro. Like,
or I guess a glass of wine.
I'm about to say they don't drink beer. They drink they drink wine for sure. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this craft. I don't enjoy the people particularly, but I am always like flabbergasted when I see how many different instruments it is. And I just, like I said, me and Wise was in choir. I know how hard it is to get even 20 people to sing a song correctly. 50 people to play a song correctly and it sound good, and playing it correctly in practice is one thing. Now you got to get on fucking stage and sing it or play it, and it's got to be flawless, because these guys are about to be playing in front of some of the, you thought these guys are snooty, you're about to be playing in front of some of the most snootiest motherfuckers on earth, and they will be able to tell if you fucking up there, bro. And you fuck up in a situation like this, a lot of times you probably won't get a gig again, not at this magnitude. So it's a lot of pressure for these guys, and it's kind of crazy. I don't know how these motherfuckers get paid. I feel like I always hear about people like this just being broke. So like, no matter how high up you get, you only as big as your last gig. I don't know. So I got to do some more research into it. But yeah, as far as like the actual album, banger.
I love that what he was doing right there, because it's like he was cupping the balls and
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, so growing up, my mom would always throw some sort of classical on during the holidays. Usually it was Vanessa Mae doing violin stuff, or NutCracker, Cats. We had Jesus Christ Superstar. I always had a various array of some sort of like classical-ish music. So I had heard most of it, and I think I could remember the orchestra part of probably a third of it. But what's funny is, Mike, you were saying choir, and that would have been the obvious place for me to go. But I thought about it like raid leading. Like, trying to get 25 people to do the correct thing at the correct time, and how difficult that is. I mean, they're all professionals, and the conductor doesn't like need to know every individual note and everything, because they're kind of there as a focal point. If you look at most of the people, they aren't even looking at the conductor.
Yeah.
A lot of it's for when there's like long counts and you have to see when a beat drops type of thing. or when to start going active. But yeah, conducting is one thing that I knew a little bit of from choir, but I didn't really learn too much. And then I was also thinking, I wonder what kind of interesting stuff composers could have done in the past in having. So, like, if you look at the orchestra here, all of the basses are together, all of the violins are together, all of the clarinets are together. There'd be really cool, like, stereo 3D stuff that composers could do, and we'll never know if that happened because we don't know the composure of the actual orchestra. So I never looked at the orchestra like that, like in how there's more. I think there's like 2 drummers, there's like 9 or 10 violinists, and they're kind of like volume knobs for current music production, and
Interesting.
kind of some of that random stuff that the composer would have to think of. I mean, if you have 10 people playing at half volume, or you have one person playing very loud, the actual level of noise could be similar, but it's going to be a completely different vibe. And that is with the exact same instrument, only changing if you have one person who stands out or a very low like hum of a tune. So I wonder how much cool music we'll never know existed happen. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things with a live performance of music that when there was no recording, how do we know that kings and queens didn't have a full like 360 orchestra around them if it was never recorded?
Well, so on that point, I'd like to go ahead and say real quick, like,
that's some boss shit. You just
what?
sit in the middle of a room and make everybody gather around your ass and play to you. That's crazy.
I had it backwards. Go ahead.
So, I've noticed some very interesting acoustics within St. Peter and Paul Cathedral in Detroit there, because of the architecture of it. And it's made me really wonder because within the Orthodox Church, like, we've never adopted the organ. It's always been only choirs singing, and the dome is a very prominent aspect of Orthodox architecture, and the architecture of the church is always incredibly important. And I don't know enough about like acoustics and architecture to really say anything, but I have wondered how much of the acoustics and the singing plays into the tradition of sacred architecture. And especially when you're looking at domes and the way voices reverberate, even if I mean, especially considering how palaces like the monarchies were so closely related to the church. I can't help but imagine that there was a similar-ish, at least, tradition of architecture, and those sorts of things were also accounted for to a certain degree. And it makes me wonder if perhaps the king and queen weren't surrounded 360 by an orchestra, but because of the acoustics, they were still able to go ahead and get that 360 sort of experience.
Like those fancy sound bars that sound like a 7-speaker setup, but it's a sound bar in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Cool thought.
Yeah, it is. And then you also, now that you brought that up, it is curious to me. Like, this is one of those things where I would love to be in the studio to see how they even record this, to get the recording, to make it sound good, and then put it on CDs and Spotify and shit,
They're using,
there's a, what you about to say, Waz?
They're using some high quality mics. It's really hard to see, but like right here, there's one. Right here, there's one.
Yeah, I know,
See.
like Orthodox chant. Those sorts of CDs are typically recorded in like a monastery chapel or in a church, and that sort of thing, which I find very interesting. They're like, no, 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 this is where we sing. You bring your mics here.
Yeah. It would make sense though. Yeah, this is how people like this. This the best way to hear it. So why not record it in there? And if y'all figured out if the best way to record it and the best way to hear it, probably sounds pretty good. Some of these motherfuckers old as hell, boy. God damn.
So I was gonna say, Mike, you were saying you hate a lot of these, and while you were saying that, I kind of these people, sorry, I kind of in my mind saw it as like sports. Like these are the NBA players or the NFL players.
Yep.
So like the starving artist thing is going to be the like pro amateur and lower. My guess. Maybe they're all broke. Maybe dude right there has a cocaine addiction or something.
Nah,
That
you're
one
right,
dude do.
Wozzy. Because it's also about the circles you be in, bro. Where y'all not making, they probably not making 30 million or nothing like NBA players. But in that circle that they in, they the man. Like you said, these probably is the NBA players. So they getting enough money. They the man in the places that they go. People is on their dick, and but that shit, it's the same way. Because I don't like a lot of NBA players neither, or NFL players.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers be divas, and the older we get, the softer motherfuckers get. So, but that's a great choice, Jakey Poo.
I like it. Thanks. I haven't heard that in a while.
Like, I really wasn't sure how much you guys were going to enjoy it or not. I really, obviously, like, I don't put anything out that hoping that you hate it. But I'm really like this. I felt was like a risky, not risky choice, but a risky choice.
But
I'm really glad. I knew you guys, of anybody, you guys would probably appreciate it. So
yeah.
How many times do you guys think that composer orgasm or that conductor orgasm though? Because he looked exhausted at points. Like he definitely just came.
I like in the middle.
Boy draws is drenched. He said, "What?"
Straight
in the middle during intermission. He just gets up and walks out without like acknowledging anything. He just everybody else.
I only got so much time.
Old drippy draws over here.
Diaper number 1 is full. Time to go get number 2.
Oh my god, bro! To bust a nut, like full orchestra and audience is wild. Okay, what you got for us, Wozzy?
All right, I got the last loud album, and then we'll do Story of Woz, starting out young. So we got one more. It is the Bullet. It's Bullet for My Valentine, The Poison.
I thought that it was called the Last Loud album. I'm like, damn, that's a crazy name.
No. This is my last loud album, and then I will do History of Woz through music and interpretive dance.
We want to get like a Squidward joint like this.
Bullet for My Valentine, what? Poison?
The Poison.
The Poison, okay.
And the first track is a lot quieter than the rest of the album, so don't adjust your volume to the first track. I'd say that much.
All right.
Well, maybe I want to, though.
Maybe I want to, though.
You do you.
Will do me. I'm not gonna do you.
You ain't gotta tell me to do me. I'm already doing me. Oh shit! Good shit today, boys. This is the No Consistency Podcast.
Peace.